We're recording.
And good morning, family, and how's everybody doing this morning? I want to apologize first about reading it from a piece of paper, but the reason why is so I make sure that I stay to the point and make this as short as possible. This is Vashawn F. Head of One Man's Opinion, and I would first like to wish a happy belated birthday to Johnny L Mayhew, better known as Cowboy. His birthday celebration was yesterday on 89th and Huff. DJ Regal Stewart was really jamming last night, and also would like to give a shout out to the one and only Alfred Porter Jr. of the Hip Hop Workshop on Voice It Radio at 5 on Tuesdays. And just so you guys know, because I had difficulty trying to find the show, okay, what you have to do is basically about 15 minutes before the actual show starts on Voice It Radio, they'll chime you in letting you know your program's about to start, and you have to sit there and wait until it starts. If there's any other way, somebody can tell me or send me an email, let me know a better way of doing it. I've also heard about the apps. Now, as far as finding out a little bit more about me, because I've been blessed enough that a lot of you guys are asking a lot of questions and you want to know where I'm at and all these different things, the first thing that you can do is you can actually find a story about me when I was 5 years old and caught in the middle of a murder, an actual murder at 5 years old. It's actually in Wikipedia, and the story is called Santa Claus Line Slaying. And wait till you find out who else is family is involved in this. Okay, he's a big star. He appears on Empire and is probably one of my favorite actors. Brief description: my mother and I stood in between the two men involved in the altercation. Now about my partner DJ Dragon, my one and only DJ. He is now putting his music and sampling of his music on SoundCloud. Everyone knows remixes. He's actually coming up with what he calls a one message remix, combining both old and new school messages that apply in today's troubled times. And you will be able to reach him at djdragon2053 at gmail. The albums that he's actually putting out right now are called The Gauntlet, which is a hip hop of all languages, believe it or not, but it is rated R and is explicit. Bridging the Gap, which is showing same songs from different generations, like You Should Know Me If You Don't Know Me By Now by Simply Red, and he's got some If You Should Know Me By Now by the OJs, and even the original 1960s group. And then last but not least is The Conversation with Mother Earth, and this is really a deep, deep message. So it's a trilogy, but if you listen to them all together, you will really be able to understand the signs of the times that we all generations have the same issues. And if by chance you happen to see a gentleman driving a 1980 Indy 500 Pacer Series car, Trans Am Pontiac, okay, it's collector's edition, please wave at me. I would love to introduce myself and my car Phoenix and give you its history about being on the track during that year, 1980. And I want you to know that we all have a right to know that we matter to someone, somewhere in our lifetime. That is very important. And these are opportunities that we get to take when we meet strangers to let them know that they matter. You family, all of you, all of my family worldwide matter. We may even have some free DJ Dragon sample CDs with One Man Opinion promo cards if you catch me and you ask for them. My mom always said that a closed mouth don't get fed, so if you don't ask, I won't know. Now for today's subjects and my humble opinion. First, I am sure you are familiar with synonyms. One word having several words that have a similar meaning and can be used in place of the original word. For a writer like myself, it helps develop your vocabulary and level of communication. But I had to stop and think about it, and especially since we have the issues about communication and arguing between us and whatnot. And what I came up with is, if you actually stop and think about it, if you have one word and you have several different words that can be used in its place, that sounds great and wonderful, but to be honest with you, that means that you just now have several opportunities for the word you use to be misinterpreted by the other person. Think on that for a minute. And I believe that this is a very huge part of miscommunication. Think about it next time you are arguing with a loved one. Stop and think about what you are trying to communicate. Look at the person and identify with just them. Listen to what they are saying. If you have caught a word from their conversation that you disagree with, and you begin thinking about it and having a response for them, you're not finishing listening to the rest of the message that they have. So stopping yourself from fully understanding just by you starting to think about an answer to prepare when they stop. Then stop and think about who you are talking to. Okay? The reason for this is we have all kinds of different relationships, and you have to begin to stop and recognize who you're talking with versus issues that you've had with other people. Okay? Good, bad, or differential, they are their own person. So then, if necessary, speak. Although chances are you will find there really is no response necessary. Let's learn to agree to disagree, people. Please. Okay? In my humble opinion, and in the apology that I put up for Miss Cleveland of Voice It Radio, I break down the male and female duality. The dominant, the submissive, and what I believe we are mistaken for submissive, but needs to be understood, how to prostrate ourselves or become humble. Check it out. And last but not least, you are responsible for your thoughts, your actions, and your words. I'm quite sure that we've heard this reference from the Bible, but in a new book, One Man's Opinion, The Secrets Revealed, The Rise of the Phoenix, I am going to break it down scientifically, okay? That energy is created from all three of these sources. And once it is created, energy does not dissipate, okay? You charge this energy, and some may call it karma, but it continues on as you leave it out. If you're negative, then you've just released negative energy. If you had negative thoughts, negative actions, negative words, you release this negative energy in the world, and I'm quite sure we all agree there's enough of that out there. Okay, so please check me out on Wikipedia, the Santa Claus line slang back in the 70s, back when, just going to tell my age, okay, back when Higbee's and May Companies and Woolworths and all those with downtown was just jamming. 4th and Prospect was the place to be, okay? And please share and subscribe this with everybody you possibly can, but be careful. If you do too many at one time, they have an algorithm that will shut it down. So take your time and share out the message, especially if you're feeling me, okay? And then also on one of DJ's tracks, he is going to be debuting from Cleveland, our very own One Vision, and his new hit, Motivation. So, to all my family out there in Cleveland, Ohio, and worldwide, one message, one people, one vision. Love you all. Peace.